Journeyman Jimmy Black. We'll see it lock. That's how we do it.
Hey, Nouveau Africa.
Yeah, let them know. Keep your head bobbing. Keep your head bobbing.
Nouveau Africa.
Everybody throw your hands in the air.
Nouveau Africa.
Throw your hands in the air. Throw your hands in the air.
Liberia is a small country located on the west coast of Africa, blessed with 350 miles of coastal beaches along the Atlantic Ocean. The country's natural resources and export commodities include iron ore, gold, diamonds, timber, oil palm, cocoa, rubber, and recently discovered offshore oil reserves. Liberia has a lush virgin forest with a variety of wildlife and forest resources, accounting for 43% of all the biodiversity in West Africa. Liberia has great potential for the production of wood and timber-related materials. Liberia has mountains, waterfalls, lakes, and several rivers like the St. Paul River that produces the Watawi waterfalls, the Noir River with its rocks with strange writings, River G with its fast-moving rapids, the Lofa River with its rich gold deposits, and the Kavala River that separates Liberia from Cote d'Ivoire. In 1989, the country went to war with itself. The Civil War lasted for 14 years. The Civil War ended in 2003 with the exit of former President Charles Taylor and the arrival of the United Nations mission in Liberia, UNMIL. In October 2003, a transitional government led by Chairman Charles Jude Bryant was installed, paving the way for elections in 2005. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf won the 2005 elections and became Liberia and Africa's first female president. As the country's first post-conflict elected president, Madam Sirleaf embarked on a bold and comprehensive redevelopment agenda for stable, inclusive economic growth. Liberia's Vision 2030, a development strategy for the transformation of Liberia, wants to make Liberia a middle-income country by the end of 2030. The first slice of that vision, the Agenda for Transformation, has identified the priority areas of energy, roads, ports, infrastructure development, and youth empowerment and capacity building. In 2013, Liberia celebrated 10 consecutive years of peace, and the nation is transitioning from a period of stabilization to transformation.
And we want to thank all of you for the way you have held Mama Liberia, the way you have promoted the peace. We just talked about 10 years of peace where people can sleep in the night with nobody troubling you. You can walk and go to your farm and be assured that you will be safe. And this is what now we on. The big thing is, how do we bring development to you? We started a process, but you have to work with us. The government can't do it by itself. All the people have to be engaged in it.
Today, in 2014, the year 2030 may seem far into the future, but it is only 16 years away. With a clear vision, helpful partners, strategic planning, fiscal discipline, determination, and yes, hard work, Liberia should be able to accomplish its vision. 8 years into the administration of President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, we turn our cameras on some of the projects around the country that the government has targeted in its agenda for transformation to see the progress the government of Liberia is making as it attempts to transform the nation. We traveled through all 15 counties and had the opportunity to see firsthand some of the challenges facing the government and the people of Liberia. We also got the chance to see and appreciate Liberia's natural beauty and the potential it presents for tourism. The development going on in Liberia today is occurring from all fronts, with contributions being made by the government of Liberia, international partners, concession companies, private citizens, business entrepreneurs whose individual efforts are improving conditions throughout the country. The government identified 4 key items to target for transformation. In this edition of Transforming Liberia, A Nation Rising, we look at what is happening in the counties in terms of education, electricity, employment, health, infrastructure development, roads, and we pose the question, is Liberia still rising? You be the judge.
So the intent of your tour around the country is to document, right, what the government has been doing since its incumbency, okay, and to sort of disabuse the notion that the government has done nothing. First of all, for any Liberian or anyone outside Liberia to entertain the notion that nothing has happened in Liberia since the incumbency of the government, I mean, it's tantamount to being, deceptive, yeah. I mean, it's falsehood because Liberia is not the same country that it was, since 2003, especially from 2005 onwards. I mean, we have seen a lot of infrastructural development in terms of roads. If you look at the road from Roberts International Airport right into Central Monrovia, all of the streets of Central Monrovia, even the new bridge, what we used to call the Waterside Bridge, I mean, the community roads around Monrovia. And now as we talk, work has already begun on the Monrovia-Ganta Road. Just 2 years ago, the Fishtown Harper Road was rehabilitated. Anyone living in the southeast here would tell you that it was very difficult to travel between Harper and Fishtown. It took people maybe 24 hours and that. So, I mean, these are just some things, and there are other things that are in the pipeline. We are hearing that hopefully the Harper Fishtown Road is going to be upgraded or is going to be tarred, and electricity is coming from Cote d'Ivoire through funding from the European Union into Nimba, Grand Jude, and Maryland. In fact, the project is far ahead in the Nimba area, but you can see the poles, the lights are going on, though there have been some delays in that. Liberia's image abroad, I mean, has been cleaned up. I mean, you go abroad today, you feel proud to be a Liberian. People get to know that you are from Liberia. I mean, the first thing they say, oh, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the first, female president in Africa. And that makes us proud. But also the freedom of speech, okay, is something very important. I mean, things that people are saying today, people get on the radio, people even at the public occasions, the thing people say, people are not afraid to speak their minds and that. I tell people what we are talking to, the way people talk freely today, they couldn't have said it during Taylor's era. People are saying that the president should resign. People did not have the courage to say it, but people can say and go to sleep soundly. Just the freedom of speech, because freedom also comes with responsibility.
Okay, my name is Wellington Giffon Smith. I'm the superintendent of Riverside County. We are really impressed with the government transformation agenda because, in the first place, Riverside is starting anew. Only the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government, everything you see in here, about 95% of what you call development in Riverside was put here by this government. And so when you talk about where this thing was and where it is today, majority and almost everything you will see here is where it is today, than where we start from. Because there was nothing here practically. For instance, Cestus was a one-way street. From Buchanan Street, you go into the sea. Over the years, and Liberia was established. Today, we're putting streets in between again from the same government. There was no administrative building in the county. This government gave it to us. Nearly everything, immigration office, police station, everything. And so the government, Riverside development alone is not just transforming, it's starting anew. So everything you see here, about 95% of everything you see here was put in here by this government.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Some of the most visible signs of transformation can be seen on Liberia's roads, which the government has been rehabilitating since 2007. In Monrovia, major roads like the Robertsfield Highway from the ELWA Junction to Roberts International Airport was resurfaced. Tupman Boulevard, which in 2006 was riddled with potholes, was redone, greatly improving the look of the city. The streets in Monrovia were also rehabilitated, as was the SKD Boulevard. In 2006, SKD Boulevard was a closed-off dirt road where the mangrove swamps were being used as dumping grounds. Today, the area has been cleaned up, and the road connecting Tupman Boulevard to Somalia Drive is the connector it was envisioned to be. Other roads like Jamaica Road, the GSA Road, Rehab Road, and SD Cooper Road are some of the roads in Monrovia that have undergone transformation from dirt roads to asphalt paved roads. The Nizo Road and Benson Clinic Road were widened and paved to create bypasses around the congestion in the red light district. The Caldwell Road from Bushrod Island to Bentall is being upgraded from a dust road to a paved road. Solar lights, concrete curbs, and sidewalks are being added, and the old one-lane Caldwell Bridge is being rebuilt into a new two-lane bridge. In 2007, the old Vi-Town Bridge collapsed into the Mesurado River. The old bridge was demolished and a new bridge constructed. In 2011, the new bridge was dedicated by President Sirleaf and renamed the King Zolu Duma Bridge. The bridge connects the city of Monrovia to the commercial district of Bushrod Island. In 2006, the Buchanan Highway was a difficult road to travel on. The 88-mile stretch from Monrovia to Buchanan took some 3 hours of travel time. The once paved road had eroded to dust with potholes, broken bridges, and missing asphalt. Rehabilitation of the road was done in 3 phases over a period of 4 years at a cost of 33.7 million United States dollars. Since the road has been rehabilitated, the travel time from Monrovia to Buchanan has been reduced from 3 hours to 1.5 hours. Construction has started on the Monrovia-Ganta Highway. The highway runs through central Liberia from Monrovia in the south through Montserrado, Margibi, Bung, and up to Nimba County in the north. The Monrovia-Ganta Highway project is a large infrastructure project that is concurrently going on in 4 counties. When completed, the highway will become Liberia's section of the West Africa Highway that will run in Liberia from Logato in Nimba County to Bowater Side at the Liberian border with Sierra Leone. The road project is creating thousands of jobs for Liberians, including women who are taking on various positions. The Bung Mines Road has been paved. Pavement of the 33-kilometer road linking Kakata City to Bung Mines, Lower Bung County, is nearing completion. The road is being rebuilt under a concession agreement with the China Union Company. The 25 years agreement to mine ore in the Bung Range required repairs to the 33-kilometer road, reducing driving time between Kakata and Bung Mines from hours to only 22 minutes. The Marshall Road in Margibi County is also being paved. The 22-kilometer road from Robertsfield Highway Junction to Marshall City is currently under construction. The cost of rebuilding the Marshall Road is 19.7 million United States dollars. A new road was built for the people of Belayala in the middle of the mountainous Bopulu Forest, where no road existed before. In addition to cutting through the virgin forest, the contractors had to cut through the challenging Goma Hill and Iron Rock Hill in Bapulu that stood in the path of the road. The total cost for the 60-kilometer road was 14 million United States dollars. The Belayala Road opened up Belayala area, giving the people in that part of Bapulu road access for the first time to the rest of the country. For the first time in Liberia's history, the streets in Vonjama City, Lofa County are being paved.
I'm Roosevelt Flomo. I work with the county health team in Vonjama City. Presently, I saw in Parliament Clinic. I'm impressed for what Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and her government doing for this country, because it have happened in the 80s. They cut our parents' salary and all for the quota road from Madikoma, from Bangla to Madikoma, it was not material. And today we see ourselves like the Marylanders that can work on quota in local country. We are very much happy with the government, and we hope our Ellen-led government will have good luck and they will continue their governing in this country.
Electricity is the engine that drives all modern societies, and it is critical for improving the living conditions of the people. If Liberia wants to transition to a modern society, it must address the country's current energy challenges. The Mount Coffee Hydro Plant, the largest hydro dam facility, was damaged during the war and has not been functional since 1996. In January 2014, the groundbreaking for the rehabilitation of the Mount Coffee Hydroelectric Dam took place. The rehabilitation of the facility will cost the government of Liberia over 200 million United States dollars. The plant is scheduled to produce its first electricity by December 2015. When the rehabilitation of the power plant is completed, its producing capacity is estimated at 80 megawatts. With the hydro generating up to 80 megawatts during the rainy season, the government has indicated that current cost of electricity, which is 54 cents per kilowatt hour, would be reduced by half to 27 cents per kilowatt hour. In addition to the rehabilitation of Mount Coffee, the government has subscribed to 2 cross-border West African regional power schemes: WAP, the West Africa Power Pool Project, and CLSG, the Côte d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea Interconnection Power Project. The West Africa Power Pool Project is bringing electricity from Côte d'Ivoire to 18 Liberian border towns in Nimba, Grand Jide, River G, and Maryland. And for the first time in more than 20 years, the people of Nimba County and Maryland will have electricity. The CLSG Interconnection Power Project will be implemented in Liberia between 2014 and 2017 and will connect the power grids of Côte d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea by constructing 1,400 kilometers of high voltage lines to connect the national electrical networks of the 4 countries. In February 2014, President Sirleaf dedicated a 60 kilowatt mini hydro plant in Yandahon, Lofa County. The $540,000 United States dollars project is a pilot implementation of the Rural and Renewable Energy Agency program of the Ministry of Lands, Mines, and Energy, a program sponsored by the World Bank Group and the African Development Bank. The Yandahon Electricity Development Cooperative, trained to manage the Yandahon system, is now providing power to 169 households in 3 villages and directly impacting the lives of more than 10,000 people. Paying only 200 Liberian dollars per month for 5 amps, approximately $2.38, owners of small businesses in Yandahon, Dangahon 1, and Dangalahon 2 are now supplying bigger markets in the region with cold water, ice, and food preservation services. Electrification projects such as the Mount Coffee and the Yandahon Mini Hydro, WAP, and CLSG are investments being made by Liberia in the right direction. It is these and other infrastructure projects in other sectors that are needed to secure Liberia's future and transform the nation. Information, Communication, and Technology, ICT, is important for Liberia's future in terms of income generation, job creation, security, education, health, banking and finance, research opportunities, and its potential to improve the way the government does business. The Telecom Act was passed in 2007 and brought into being a permanent regulatory body, the Liberian Telecommunication Authority, the LTA. This body regulates and monitors the telecommunication sector. In May 2010, a special purpose vehicle, the Cable Consortium of Liberia, CCL, was formed to bring fiber optics to Liberia. In June 2010, Liberia joined the Africa Coast to Europe ACE Cable Consortium, and on November 3, 2011, at the cost of 25 million United States dollars, the ACE cable, Liberia's first fiber optic cable, landed on South Beach in Monrovia. Today, in 2014, Libtelco has extended the fiber optic cable from the Freeport of Monrovia through central Monrovia up to Congo Town. The ACE fiber optic cable is only the first piece of the total ICT system. The cable is on Liberia's soil, and a fiber distribution network, once built, will deliver huge benefits to the government and people. The government of Liberia is actively seeking funding to build a state-of-the-art distribution network for Liberia. To stimulate economic growth at the local level, the Central Bank of Liberia, in collaboration with local commercial banks and non-bank financial institutions, initiated a lending program for small and medium-sized businesses, development, and for mortgage lending. On January 31st, 2013, the Central Bank awarded over 118 million Liberian dollars to 262 non-bank financial institutions, like credit unions, to provide access to financing for low-income people, particularly in rural communities.
Yes, you know, they are women group, rural women group, Country rural women group, Berega rural women group. All the women, they are from the whole district. We will come together here, we do our work. In fact, they want to come meet us doing it now. That is VSA, very saving loan. Every Wednesday, the women can put it together. I think last week, the women were able to raise 500,000 on their own. They divided. And the first thing I would say, I want to thank Liberia government. Thank you very much, because for them to able to put, before we were not looking at it. My sister, and you could see me before, you will not believe like me standing here. I'm telling Helen, thank you plenty. I tell our mother, women. That 86 person in the group, 5 men. The other rest are women, but the men are just there, you know, to help us. You know, women can't walk alone now, side by side. But before we used to go behind, now we walking side by side. Amen. Okay, thank you. Amen. This group are the rural women group for Campley, Berega district, because all the women in the district, all go together here. We get a brain, all the village. But that all the come together here. This warehouse, we were able to get a warehouse from our hard work. Because we made farm, the people can access it, they were interested in it. UNDP were able to pay the warehouse for on P4P program, the joint program. So they rest together, they were happy, get our contract. They contracted us when we made the rest, when we buy the rest here, then they give it to us, we made it, then they pay us, they made the fee. You know. So it helping all a lot, and I'm too happy about our Liberia president, because it's not how the women will be done. The first thing, the native women, you know, now we up, because before they used to put up behind and say that Lapa women, but our mother, she didn't pick and choose. She said women are women. It would drive the poor people because they didn't know, but then who will be Liberia woman?
Between 2006 and 2010, the government of Liberia signed several contracts with foreign companies to invest in various sectors in Liberia. Many of these agreements are classified as major investments because they exceed 10 million United States dollars and span over 10 years. Some of the sectors include mining, agriculture, hotels and tourism, forestry, petroleum, finance, and infrastructure. These concessions will create jobs, pay taxes, build infrastructure, and provide training and career advancements to Liberians. All of these contracts are in the early stages of their investments, but some of their impacts are already being felt. In the mining sector, companies like ArcelorMittal, China Union, and Liberty Gold Mine combined have already created thousands of jobs in rural areas that had no access to employment before. Liberty Gold Mine in the Gola Konet district in Grand Cape Mount County currently employs 1,000 Liberians, many from local communities throughout Cape Mount. The China Union Company took over the Bung Mines Range in 2008 with a 2.6 billion United States dollars investment to mine iron ore in the Bung Range for the next 25 years. The company's first shipment of 50,000 metric tons of ore was worth to Liberia $1 million in royalties, $2.5 million in tax revenue, and $3.5 million in social development contributions. China Union is nearing completion of the Bung Mines Kakata Road, valued at 18 million United States dollars. The project was reported as having created 3,000 jobs. ArcelorMittal current employment figure for full-time employees is 1,199 jobs. In the agriculture sector, Sim Darby, which operates in Bummy and Grand Cape Mount counties, currently employs 3,000 Liberians, and all of the managers at Sim Darby are Liberians. Golden Verolium, which operates in southeastern Liberia, currently employs 2,471 Liberians, of whom 2,212 are in the county of Sino. The Liberian Cocoa Corporation, LCC, operates in northeastern Liberia, in Lofa County, near the Guinean border. The company specializes in the production of high-quality, commercial-grade cocoa for export. If the Liberian Cocoa Corporation is successful in its development of 6,000 hectares of hybrid cocoa, it could become one of the largest cocoa plantations in Africa. LCC is the brainchild of Liberian entrepreneur Momolu Tolbert. The company is not only planting trees, they are also creating jobs, and as part of the company's corporate social responsibility program, it has developed over 15 kilometers of new feeder roads. In addition to employment, Liberians are also benefiting or will directly benefit from the housing estates being created by these entities. Sim Darby built the Matambo estate in Grand Cape Mount County for its workers. The estate includes 196 units of 3-bedroom apartments. The estate has a church, a mosque, a clinic, and schools, including a daycare for children whose parents are working on the facilities. Liberty Gold Mine, also operating in Grand Cape Mount County, is building staff housing and a new town to relocate an entire village that is sitting on top of the gold deposit they want to mine. The company is constructing some 900 housing units to accommodate people who subscribe to their relocation program. ArcelorMittal is repairing the houses in the old Lamco mining town of Yekepa to create housing for its workers. They have renovated the high school and the secondary and primary schools in Yekepa. ArcelorMittal is also repairing the Yekepa Vocational Training Center. The government of Liberia and ArcelorMittal in January 2013 signed an agreement for the rehabilitation of the Ganta to Yekepa Highway. The project to reconstruct the Ganta to Yekepa Highway is scheduled to begin at the end of 2014 at the start of the next dry season. The hospitality industry has taken off under this president. Luxury hotels such as RLJ Kendecha and the Royal Grand Hotel, as well as other hotels including Corina Hotel, Provident Hotel, Crystal Ocean View Hotel, Bella Casa Hotel, Palm Springs, Cape Hotel, Golden Gate, and Golden Key are also making investments in Liberia and creating jobs. Liberian entrepreneurs like the PA Rib House, Sam Barbecue, Baker Tilly, Liberty Airlines, among others, are also contributing to job creation in Liberia. In the absence of formal jobs, many Liberians have become self-employed, like the Pem Riders, money changers, used clothes retailers, local artists, fruit vendors, and market women are all generating income from the businesses they do to support themselves and their families. Off the main roads and in the interior, the Pem drivers are providing valuable transportation services as they carry people between towns and villages and from the main road inside the local communities who otherwise would have to walk. The National Transit Authority bus service is available in Monrovia, Painesville City, Fendo, Kakata, Harbel, Buchanan, Tupmanburg, Kipmount, and as far as Ganta City in Nimba County. A new bus terminal is being constructed in Bowaterside, and the NTA recently introduced a transfer system. The Lizard Bus Company, a private bus service with their Catch the Lizard slogan, is also providing transport services in the city of Monrovia. The French conglomerate Total is building some 20 gas stations around the country that will employ 1,000 Liberians. Total stations can be found in Monrovia, Buchanan, Tupmanburg, Bunjama, Banga, Ganta, and Greenville. This investment has created a competitive landscape, encouraging other gas stations such as SP, NP, LP, Colando, and Aminata gas stations to redesign and upgrade their filling stations, creating more customer-friendly spaces with modern and calibrated gas pumps. The Ellen Johnson Sirleaf-led government, through the Ministry of Health, since 2006, has been building, renovating, and equipping hospitals and clinics around the country. Ambulances, beds, medical supplies, medical equipment, drugs are all being provided to health centers around the country, and health care in many of the government-operated clinics and hospitals outside of Monrovia are free. The Maternity Center, the Liberian Japanese Friendship Hospital, was rebuilt in the JFK complex. JFK was rehabilitated and reopened with a new surgical ward. A new hospital, the Jackson F. Doe Referral Hospital in Tapeta, Nimba County, was constructed. It is a $10 million facility that is providing quality health services to the people from around the country. The hospital is a gift from the People's Republic of China. It is a 206-bed hospital with up-to-date diagnostic and surgical equipment, including the first CT scan in Liberia. In April 2014, a 16-member team of medical specialists from the Canadian-based Kourlibu Neuroscience Foundation successfully conducted brain, back, and other critical surgeries on 18 patients at the Jackson F. Dole Memorial Hospital. To ensure that Liberia has the health professionals to meet the country's health care needs, community colleges and schools like TNIMA, the Dagliati College of Medicine, and the midwifery training program outside of Zwedru are training nurses, lab technicians, doctor assistants, and other medical staff to provide medical services to various hospitals and clinics. Many students are receiving scholarship to study medicine abroad. Liberian doctors, nurses, and hospital administrators are also returning home from the diaspora, contributing their services to health facilities around the country. Foreign doctors and other medical specialists donate their time performing life-saving surgeries, diagnosing and treating medical problems, and providing specialist services at various hospitals throughout the country. A 32-bed healthcare facility was recently completed in Sewu, Kewu Clan, Grand Kipmount County. The Richard and Helen Devos Medical Center emergency room service is operating at Waterside in Grand Kipmount County. A 50-bed facility was recently constructed in Fishtown, River G. To transform the nation, the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf-led government recognizes that they must educate the people by creating opportunities to learn. They must create conducive learning environments that encourages learning and remove some of the barriers that hinder human development in Liberia. Early in her presidency, Madam Sirleaf started building primary and secondary schools around the country. To improve the child's chances at school, the school age was dropped from 5 years old to 3 years old, and a free and compulsory primary education policy was implemented. Libraries, computer labs, and science labs are being added to high schools and colleges to spark interest in engineering, science, and technology, and a new science and technology building is being added to the BWI campus in Kakata City, Margibi County. Since her election, President Sirleaf has been identifying sources of funding to build new community colleges and renovate and reopen old colleges and universities. New community colleges, such as the Lofa County Community College in Vonjima and the Nimba County Community College in Saniquile, were constructed. The Bumi Community College was reopened to serve the needs of students in Tutmaburg, and the Grand Jita Community College started operating out of the multilateral high school complex in Zwedru. One of the largest community colleges, the Dolokelek Bove Community College, is being constructed in Banga Bong County. Senjay Vocational and Technical College in Gawula District, Grand Kipmount County, and Tutma University in Harper, Maryland County, ravaged by the war, were renovated and reopened. Tutma University in Harper, Maryland has become a beacon of hope for young people throughout the southeastern region. The university is playing a major role in teacher training and is developing its own solar farm. Damaged buildings at the University of Liberia's main campus in Monrovia have been renovated, and a new campus was built for the university at Fendel. A new campus is currently being constructed for the Monrovia Vocational Training Center in Monrovia, and the center will be granted accreditation to implement an associate's degree program. To assist in the rebuilding of the educational system in Liberia, the government of Liberia, in conjunction with UNICEF and the government of the Netherlands, built the Ganta Public School in Ganta City, Nimba County. The school is a model school built on 25 acres of land donated by the community. The Ganta Public School is charting a new course for the education system in the country. It is one of the 21st century schools being built in Liberia with modern facilities like libraries, computer labs, and a science and technical lab. Despite President Sirleaf declaring corruption state enemy number one, it remained a challenge. Several integrity institutions have been established, some of which include the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the Good Governance Commission, the Public Procurement and Concession Commission, and the General Auditing Commission. These integrity institutions were created to assist in the government's fight against corruption, its goal of openness and transparency. An open budget initiative was started at the Ministry of Finance, where budgetary expenditures are openly displayed on an electronic billboard for citizens to see how government revenues are expended. To avoid many of the problems that led to Liberia's civil conflict, key institutions were established, such as the Human Rights Commission, Land Reform Commission, Law Reform Commission, and a special task force on land disputes.
Than what it was, years ago, in the last decade, especially in the last 8 years, I must admit, yeah. The positive things that's my experience. It doesn't mean that Liberia has been transformed into a paradise for what I know. Last week Tuesday I had a privileged meeting with the president. I brought to her attention the condition of the Buchanan Greenville Road. It was inaccessible. I was going there with some international journalists so that, from one of our donor agencies, and we just could not reach because of the condition. We have to, abort the trip and return to Monrovia, and that because of the condition of the road and that. Right now as we speak, one can easily travel into Grand Cru. Okay, yeah, before it was impossible to travel from Plebo to Barkley or Grances. And now the Barkley-Kamweken Road is being rehabilitated. 2.5 years ago, it took me hours to get into any part of Grand Cru, but gradually, work is being done in these on these feeder roads. So a lot is being done, but those who are talking these things need to come outside Monrovia and really see and experience, what is happening. All is not perfect, yet there are things that are not right, and they have to be corrected. Yes, there are some abuses here and there, and I think measures are being taken to correct those anomalies, and I can just hope for the best. Positive things are happening, I must admit. Okay, since the incumbency of this government, and we must realize that the challenges are huge. Okay, the demands are so many, and the resources are limited, and the expectations are so high. So we cannot expect an overnight transformation of the country, but I think Liberia has become a little better.
The security sector was reformed, and the Liberian National Police and other security agencies trained and equipped to manage security in the country and at the borders as UNMIL draws down. To ensure that the people have access to speedy justice, President Sirleaf has also focused on the creation and construction of several magisterial courts around the country, and the first of 5 security and justice hubs was completed in Banga, Bong County.
First of all, I want to thank the government, okay, for what it has done for Liberians in the past 8 years, okay. The government has tried. The government, in my estimation, has helped to make Liberia a little better, though there are many challenges along the way. And I can only hope and pray that the government can work towards accelerating the program for healing and reconciliation. I know that, reconciliation is gradually taking place, because when you improve people's conditions, as one of our popes said in 1967, he said that development is a new name for peace, okay? Through development, we can have peace. And for the fact that the government has made this country stable in the last 10 years, many things have been possible, okay? So it's another credit to the government. And no one can tell me, say he or she has had to run into exile, okay, because of this or that crisis. I want to see the government actually concretely addressing the issue of corruption. And what I would like to bring to the attention of the government is that the government should take a review of checkpoints around the country, because now I've noticed that, these quick impact projects, where police depots are built, in villages and towns on the highways, and that the next thing they set up checkpoints, and then they start extorting money from people and that and everything. So, I mean, there are good intentions behind these checkpoints, but also they have become structures of corruption and injustice. So I think the government has to look into that, because we have been embarrassed, those of all who bring, foreign partners into the country, and with these people glaringly see, our men and women working within the security apparatus, extorting money from ordinary people, and also delaying the travel of people because they have not gotten what they want from the drivers and all that. I think that's something the government should address. And what I will mention also is that I think if this government is to leave a lasting legacy, okay, the government should intensify her efforts to improve the roads in the country, especially in the southeastern part of Liberia. There are other parts of Liberia that where the need is very, strong for roads, but it is really difficult to travel around the southeast of Liberia. And if the government can do more than she is doing, I think she will leave a lasting legacy. I believe, and I'm convinced, and I have seen more positive things happening in Liberia during these 8 years. Thank you.
Since President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was elected in 2005, she has not relented on her development agenda. Most of these projects have been completed, while some are nearing completion. Some of the projects have reached an advanced stage, and others are just beginning. Despite the limited resources available to the government, she has vowed to complete these projects in record time. This sense of hope and bold development agenda that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf has brought to her people is undoubtedly an important aspect of the nation's recovery. 12 years may not be sufficient for many of the economic development ideas that Madam President envisioned. Despite this race against time, Liberia under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, with all its post-conflict hurdles, has achieved remarkable milestones. Liberia is truly a nation in transformation, and yes, is still rising. That hope, that determination, that transformation for a better Liberia, that is her legacy.
Yeah. Journeyman Jimmy Black. We'll see it lock. That's how we do it.
Hey, Nouveau Africa.
Yeah, let them know. Keep your head bobbing. Keep your head bobbing.
Nouveau Africa.
Everybody throw your hands in the air.
Nouveau Africa.
Throw your hands in the air. Throw your hands in the air.
Nouveau Africa.
Alright, let them know.
Seek and you will find just what you're looking for. And your ticket has got the number, but it seems like you don't mind. Why you blaming man?
I don't know.
Why you blame the system if you don't care?
Yeah.
If it's good for you, let it be for me and my friends.